All righty. So thank you guys for showing up to this Thursday, March 16th webinar, Field Notes and LegalShield. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about the template library. I have a resource, but there's a lot of stuff. And so I was curious what are the things that you guys would use? And then that way I can, start getting them into the library so that people can utilize. However, is there something that you guys would like to talk about? I did send out an email with sales cycle and sales flow from two of Cassie, what she uses, and then Kathy. And did everybody get those emails? And everybody pretty much understands the logic behind those. And those are just examples. I really think that you guys can steal a little bit from both on how Cassie does things and then how Kathy does things as well. And so any questions about that? None really?
What's interesting, and I just added a new
Category?
is it status or sales cycle? I forget this morning, because something I've experienced, and again, in the business solution side, it's ever changing. So one thing I experienced was this last year was companies that were bought or merged, and benefits were going to be changing. So I had to create a message that wasn't necessarily a generic pre-cancel, but it was saying, hey, Jeremy, your company with the change or the sale is no longer going to be offering this coverage. So I had to kind of tailor it, which meant then I had to create a campaign that just went to that message only. So this morning I just created another category that I could then label, and it pulls up the right template and sends out the right message. So it's going to be, I think, dynamic in that we kind of gave you, like, mine is a little more detailed, but again, I break it down by the different details. And I think it's going to be dynamic. We're going to see that it's going to keep changing and adding and so forth. So
yes. But if you go through the challenge of creating, right, all of your specific categories, then you kind of have the exercise of, how to create them. It's not something foreign to you. You kind of find where to kind of locate it, and magically it's a plug and play. I would like to welcome a Melissa. How are you doing, Melissa? New to the webinars? Well, when you get a chance, feel free to chime in. So let me go ahead and close this. Let's screen share. So any questions in regards to those categories? Is there something that you guys had in mind that you would like for me to discuss? Or would you like to discuss some of the template questions that I had?
I say go for it.
With the templates, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So this was passed along to me, and I was curious, what of these pamphlets, flyers, it looks like these are proposals, so I'm assuming, just looking at this ID Shield, this is one bureau. This is like a mini proposal, I assume.
Yeah, they used to create them with all the detail inside for all the coverage, which made it like 15, 16 pages long. And so, and lots of corporate information. So now what they've done is whittled it down into where it's like typically 4 to 5 pages, where it's got some detail and then the pricing. And this is what we would send out to a decision maker that, wants to, know more and see what the pricing is and try to move forward, to try to move forward with it.
Okay, so this definitely, so when looking at these, do all of these, so is it is it better just to have one, or is the full?
Well, are you talking about putting them into templates? Because I would not probably use it in a template. I would use it in the format it's in right now,
Just like
like an
just in the PDF?
attachment. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
can be, it could, like, so this one with 16 different things,
right. But that's what I'm
that would
saying.
be
It goes into extreme detail of the
right.
coverage.
But you can create a short one, like this could be in an email, and it could have a link to the full, right? Since this could sit in one email
Well,
relatively.
that's basically what the mini is that,
Right.
right?
So what is the best way to just create a small little description of an email and then have this to where they can just hyperlink it and then it just takes them to this, and then you guys can have both of those types of versions? Is that what you is? Does that seem?
I mean, I have it on my computer and I personalize it, so I don't know that I would use it in a template format.
Okay.
I'm
Is
just
there?
being honest.
No, and I love the honesty. However, just to build out the template library a little bit more with things, I'm just wondering from here what can be. I know at the bottom there is
Like one of the things, if
the
you go back up
videos.
to the top there,
Uh-huh.
um, like, I don't know if we have the portfolio of services at a glance, that HR flyer on the top right. I don't know if that is in the library, but to me, that's a very foundational document that we would want to have in the library.
Right.
If I'm correct,
I thought we did have it,
we
but
do
if we
have
I
it.
do
don't,
too.
I'm
we
pretty sure
should.
we do. Let me let Allison in. Let's go to
I thought we
manage.
did too, Cassie, because it was part of that original that he was doing.
It might be under like DM meeting or prospecting.
Yeah,
At a glance.
Yep,
there it is.
yep. Okay.
Yep. Yep, that's a good
Yeah.
document to have in there.
Does it have the gun supplement on it if you scroll up? Down
Hair
to,
down.
no,
it
it
needs
may
to have
not
the-
be the most current version because the plan add-ons underneath the legal plan column there.
Mm-hmm.
So you see where it has trial defense, home business, and business supplement that doesn't have the gun supplement.
Right.
So it's not the most current.
Let's take a look at this one. If
You may want to take a look at the new one because the last time I downloaded it, it didn't have that. It didn't have the public servant. There was a number of them that were missing.
It was down there, Jeremy. Keep going.
Yep,
Keep going. On the left side, there
there
it
you
is.
go.
Gun owner supplement. See,
And I
that's
don't think they're going to put the public servant one on there.
Or the drivers.
so, update it.
and the other one that's listed on here says ID Shield for Business. We don't have that anymore
Mhm.
on the right column. So that, that's the only concern I have is recreating these, because then we've got to double watch where if they're still current when they make changes.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we'll see. So that's a little bit of a challenge, right? Having
Mhm.
either you guys have to obviously know what's current and what's not and remove and add.
Right.
Um,
And
or
that's always
just
been our struggle, because a lot of times they weren't dated. So it was
Right.
hard to know, like, what was the most current one we were supposed to be using.
right.
So,
And as you see, this is the most current one. And right now, the ID Shield for Business is, it's when is it terminating? The end of this month?
April, yeah.
well, yeah, and
Yeah.
technically it terminated as far as being able to offer it anyway.
Right.
Right. So it should not be on this document right now. So,
Right.
But here it is.
And it's this one that you're talking about.
No,
Yeah, the ID
third
Shield for
bullet of
Business.
it.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
last bullet.
just the bottom
Right.
one of that list.
This one right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's why I say, even on proposals and stuff, I don't know that I would recreate those because they change. Like I asked the other day, I sent in and asked the Emerald person that puts this whole list together. I said, do we have anything for a proposal that includes gun owner and home business? Next thing you know, she sent it back to me. They created it. So I mean, it's a constant moving thing. So I
Mhm.
don't know that I would recreate a lot of these for the library, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
The portfolio or at a glance is good because it's our core basic, but it's again gonna have to be kept an eye
Yep.
on.
yep.
It
Okay.
just would be nice that we have some of the legacy plans, because so many of us still have groups that have, the identity theft plans or even the legal plans, that just keeping those here so we have some place to go, because they take them off of the LS Engage.
Yeah, I tell everybody, always keep that on your hard drive, because when corporate zorches it for whatever brilliant reason, you
So
still got to be able to
how would you guys
support
like
your group.
to further expand the template library? Is it like by request alone, just as people request documents or they need help with things? Or is there things here that we can grab? I know there's some material kind of like the videos, like some of these videos. Do any of these videos help having, them in
Well,
like an email format or a text format so that you could quickly just send it out if you wish, or no?
Well, the interesting thing was some of the videos had to be redone even because had detail in them that
No
was
longer.
no longer relevant or offered. So maybe, maybe in my mind would be like, because I've got this list, how
Mhm.
do I actually get a video embedded into the email without it, maybe a tip on that, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I
Well,
embed that video
there's
versus taking the video and
there's
sticking it in?
there's definitely different ways to use the link, right? To So what I would do, if you want me to kind of give you a quick, like, how would I put this into an email? I would use a little bit of snipping tool. Let me see. Okay. And you can possibly find a better, um, you can find like a better, like if you like that view better than another view, um,
Right.
you can pause that there, and then you can use the snipping tool. Where is my tool?
Bottom right.
It's right behind you guys. And then there she is. And you can just grab this video or grab a little picture of it. Well, we'll just use this for, so now you've got like your header. So let's go into creating an email, and let me just go ahead and put it into my general.
Is the snipping tool something where do you get the snipping tool?
You just type snipping tool in Windows,
Okay.
and then I guess it just lives there. Yeah, I know you can download other kind of apps and things like that. And so one thing to kind of force the video into a format, like force it to where you can kind of size it, I do 600. And this is just one row, one column, no headers. You can leave a little bit of spacing and padding on the cell and no border. And you can align this to the left, the right, the center. I like to put it to the left so that it always forces it in a nice slimmer format so it works good on the phone and looks good on the phone. Let me hit OK. And then you can just paste into the field. And obviously this photo is going to come extra large. So what you do is you just highlight it, well, click it so that it's highlighted, and you can get to the image properties. And you see how this is 920, so now we're looking at
Mhm.
600. And
What's the standard, Jeremy? Because I think Daisy told me one time it was like 400. Because I was trying to put all those templates together when I was first doing them.
Or if you want it to be mobile friendly, like what size image should it be?
Right.
the so 500, 600, 700 usually does the job, and it keeps it in a format that it's still good for the phone, like it resizes. What I like to do is I like to push and force the picture and the frame of this to the left, so that because if it's not, and if it's centered, sometimes it'll push it to half of the screen and you'll just get kind of this half of it. So that's
Right.
why I kind of force it to the left, so that it just falls in format and it can be viewing. But
So
I
about
think
500 will look good in email and a text. I mean, I'm not a text, on the phone.
on the phone and on the computer, it should look good.
Okay.
So
That's what I meant, on the computer.
so now that you have this, photo, you can do image properties again, and now you can go to the link, and now we can go find the video. And this big long link, you can dump it into here. And now we can save it. So when this gets emailed to the person and they click this image, it immediately. Now, an extra thing that I've done is I've like put a play button above this.
Mhm.
Just, I just go and Google what like a clear play button, and then I kind of just whatever free program I can Photoshop it on top of. And then now you have to what looks like to them, a video that you press play and it takes you to the video. And
Right.
then below, you can go ahead and use your smart tag or your signature, my signature. You can go ahead, if you wanted to, you could put up a title here, and then you can send this out to somebody, and then this is a way to get the videos out. And so another thing with this is, so let me just go ahead and put this in my general.
And we always want to embed those, right? We don't want to send those as an attachment.
Right. You want to have it kind of like this, so that
Okay.
it goes without any attachments. Attachments is what people would is what the system's red flag. And then so let me
Cause
just put
deliverability issues, right?
test video. Yep.
Yeah.
Video. Let me just do this one as well. So let's save this, and now I have it in my default folder. But another thing that I'm thinking of is you do a text message with it, and you'll have to use bit.ly. Bit.ly. And use a little link shortener, and then take this, put that into the link shortener. Now we've got a shortened link. And then now you can build, you can say, you can do a small little description to what that video was right here. Do your
So you can't
signature.
send the image in a text?
It won't show up in a text. However, it'll have your text message, and then this will be blue, and it'll be like a hyperlink. So when it's pressed, so in my experience, when I test these to myself, when just by like moving to see the text message and moving around, I sometimes hit that link and then it takes you to the video.
Yeah,
So
no, I
now
understand that. I just don't understand why you can't send the image in
it's the
with the
texting.
hyperlink.
That's the texting service, and what we have. That is also not in these up and coming releases, but that's also something that they're looking to change as well, so that you can have like GIFs and other kinds of more, what is it, multimedia kind of text messaging and that kind of thing.
Because I was
But
thinking
mhm,
there was a way, like you can do a little short video and do a thumbnail you know,
Mm.
and you could drop that thumbnail into an email. And it's like, so say I said a thank you. I had a meeting with Cassie and I wanted to just say, hey, Cassie, thank you so much for meeting with me in a little video. I could put the thumbnail in my email. It'd be great if you could put that same thumbnail kind of thing into a text message, you know, then it's almost like tells them
If
it's safe to click on it. You know what I mean? Like it's not something
if you
weird.
hosted that video like on a YouTube short or on a TikTok, it would give you a shortened link that you could use in a text message. But yes, at this moment you can't like put a photo and then have that photo be what it takes them to. Essentially, you can do these links. So if you put it in a website as well here, it would also take you to, if you had an electronic business card link, you could also use that in this platform. Really what it is just a short message, and then you're just trying to take the people to the information. If they doubt this, they're also going to have an email format, because I think it's best email, text, do the same thing. The text message just brings them quickly to the message, to the information a lot quicker. But this is how
So
you would.
Jeremy, excuse me, but can we at least rename that link?
If
Like,
you,
like Kathy was saying, just wanted to say thank you or great talking with you
oh,
instead of having
having
that.
this link like this,
Uh-huh. Can you rename that?
well, what you can do with Bitly is you can sign up and have an account with them. And so with the free version, it does allow you to do custom links with your brand. But if you pay, then I think it gives you exclusive, like it's a little bit more exclusive, right? So I've done the free version, but sometimes based on what I put, that category has already been, that phrase has been taken. And so you just kind of have to get creative how you label things so that it's never been used before. But you can create stuff and have these custom links, but you either have to use the sign up version or pay one of these levels that gives you access to like unlimited custom links and that kind of stuff. You would then be able to track. So if somebody does click it, if they click it from their phone, you can see that they did. Just to kind of have insight, I would say, in regards to knowing if the people are clicking the links that you're showing them and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so you would have to sign up.
Okay.
One of the things that, you know, I talked to Jeremy about, and some of you guys know that I use this program called Thanks. It's
Called what?
it's called Thanks,
Without the A.
THNKS. So it's like thanks without the vowel.
Mhm.
And you can send an email, thank you note, and a little like, you know, thanks a latte, and it's a coffee. You can send a coffee. So the first one I did a virtual sit down with somebody, and he sent me a thanks a latte, and it was
Oh,
a
I saw that. You sent
latte
that
thing,
to
and
me.
right. So and you can send little birthday things, you can send different things. And I thought this is really cool because like the guy sent me a Starbucks thing. I'm not a Starbucks fan. So I just did a donation to one of my favorite charities. And it was very thoughtful, and it was especially thoughtful because it was something that I didn't particularly enjoy, but I was able to make a nice donation to a cause that, you know, is near and dear to my heart. So I thought, well, that's kind of a cool deal, right? So otherwise I would just given the Starbucks card to, you know, one of the kids who likes Starbucks, right? And it's like, you know, this was a better deal. So the kids,
raised.
or Kathy or somebody who likes Starbucks, right? Yeah.
Cassie sent me ice cream. Ice cream on my birthday from Baskin Robbins on one of those. It was
Right.
quite good.
And you know what? I was thinking, like, how fun is that? Like all of your DMs on their birthday to send them a little sundae for their birthday or some little treat like that. So
Oh,
I
that's cool.
started using this, and I've been like Ron Jones, our managing partner at the provider law firm. And I'm, you know, so I'm doing this with all these people. The only ones that are a little bit of a challenge are the guys that are like out in the boonies, you know, where like, I don't know what's around them, but now they've got some ways around that as well. Well, then I found the other problem is for my millennial sort of people is that they don't always check their emails. So I found, well, now they have the text ability. So I found a way that I could text it. So do you have to, I mean, like, is there a limit on our text link? Like if I have my text link from here, because I was like, I like sending things out via text because I'm finding people get the text messages better
Yes.
than the emails. I mean, a lot of us, you know, we're in front of computers and using emails on a regular basis, but not everybody is. So when, you know, and I tested the text capability on Brenda because I think Brenda Anderson was feeling left out that I hadn't sent her anything yet. So I sent her some Dunkin' Donuts and a coffee, and I sent her a little text thing to test it, and she did get it, and because she wanted to see how it was to redeem it, and you know, because we were looking at doing some appreciation thing for the attorneys, and so, you know, tested it out. It worked great, and the text is working good. So, but if I wanted to get that text message in here, I've got the link. Can I do that? Okay.
You just either email yourself the link or you
Okay.
you sign into the app on a browser on your phone,
Right.
and then you just copy paste it to your clipboard, and then you go over to the other
And
browser,
just put it in
and then
here and send
yeah,
it from here.
or you
Okay.
can just save it into the email and then just hit save, and then you can look at your computer, and then you have already put the link in there, and then you can kind of dress it up, put in the message, or depending on how you have that text message, if it comes to you in an email, then you can just do it from your computer, and then you can put the email together and then send it out. I also did see that there is Thanks also works with Zapier,
Oh, yeah.
and so you can use, in some cases, some integration of Zapier. Let's discard this in settings, and this API key helps you connect your database to them. That way you can possibly either trigger them or notify the status of, there's something that you can do. And so,
Okay.
or you create a custom group, like a custom report. Now you have this report of the people. And then now, like if you needed it into a, like if you needed it in an Excel so that you can put it into some other platform, now you have an Excel of your custom report.
So Cassie, do you have to
See,
manually tell that program, like if you wanted to send a birthday to a DM, you have to know who you want to send it to, and you got to put it in?
Yeah, and this is what Jeremy and this is kind of what I think Jeremy's saying is if you had a DM report,
That's
that
what I
you
was thinking.
could use the API interface and interface to Thanks and have it send. So I think, you know, that's definitely a way that you could automate it potentially. So
right.
I haven't got that far yet, but I'm working, I'm kind of peeling the onion, figuring out the best way to get it done and what I want to send and what's kind of most universal. And even though I'm not a Starbucks fan, you know, Starbucks is probably the most universal, unfortunately.
And
So-
Cassie, you don't have, I know that I've done it a couple of times and I've sent it to their like work email and it doesn't get, I end up getting a credit back because it's not clicked on or not, you know,
not being delivered.
not being delivered. Do you find, of course, that in the text, it's much easier to get it delivered to the individuals?
Yeah, because generally, you know I've got their cell number that I can get it delivered to. And like my daughter's boyfriend, for his birthday, I sent him some ice cream stuff too. And I sent him a text message saying, hey, wanted to make sure you saw the Gmail, because I saw that, like, you know, usually those guys check things pretty quickly. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'd sent him a happy birthday text, but I saw that he hadn't opened the email. So I sent Caden a note and said, hey, I just wanted to make sure you saw the Gmail I sent you as well. And then he went looking for it. But he's like, I wouldn't have seen it had you not done that. So that's what made me start thinking, yeah, I probably need to just send this via text, because then they're not as likely to miss the text.
Right.
Yeah,
If
because it
you've
also
got,
could go into
if you've got-
spam.
Yeah, and Gmail sometimes will throw it over into promotions, or some, you know, it'll classify it somehow. I don't know how the hell they classify it, but you know, they have their way they classify things and do things. So it's just like,
Right.
okay, I just don't know that email is going to be the best delivery method. And if you want to give somebody something on their birthday, that's that sort of a thing, whether it's a, you know, a coffee and a donut, or a little ice cream sundae, or whatever, I think the text message is going to work better.
Well, I added text message to my birthday campaign here in Fieldnotes because I was seeing, and suddenly I'm getting more responses. Now, I did got one guy that said cancel
Right.
the birthday text. But other than that, I know they're getting them.
humbug.
I know. I was like, you want to cancel your birthday?
Another thing that you can do,
I do.
in those, let me just use this small business one, but the trigger when it comes to the birthday is in 10 days. So people use this so that and if, let's say, one of these activities is an appointment, like a reminder for you, an all-day reminder, to send out a birthday card. So what they do is they know 10 days in advance, they go to their little bucket of Hallmark cards that they have, and they write up something nice and special, and then they throw it into the mail, and they've said they calculate about, you know, by the time that she gets to it, let's say it takes 2 days, 8 days for it to show up in the mail. And they've reported that that's helpful for them. And it also kind of creates a, whatchamacallit, it's more rapport, right? Because you actually handwrite a letter to somebody and you put something nice in the mail. It does a little bit more, kind of like what Cassie's mentioning, when somebody gets a nice little gift card for a latte, that kind of thing. It just makes you that much more special, right?
Well, you can
Right.
also use services like Pix and Go or send out cards to remind yourself and send a card that way too.
Oh,
Mhm.
I'm imagine there's a bunch of services,
Yeah.
right, that
Yeah.
you can pay that will allow you to, but this was just one thing that you guys mentioned, since you guys use emails, text messages. You
This
could
is
also,
even more personal, I think, if you do the handwritten one than the send out cards.
Mhm.
right. But this is a way that you can also know days in advance, and then you can, even if like a phone call,
Create the
you know
task.
what I mean? Yeah, you can create the task.
And
And
Sparky
And
would,
then
and
you can,
Sparky
I
would
noticed you can
notify you.
you can repeat the
Um,
trigger
not
for those
not
of us
as
that ignore them.
not if Sparky's going to remind you, but you'll have a reminder. So, like, remember how George uses his tasks? He would have an all-day reminder on that day, 10 days in advance, and then he can open up the contact, and then he can look at it and review it, right? So it would go to your tasks. So whether if it was a specific timed appointment, or I would suggest more an all day, and then you would be able to look at what is your, the things that you got to do for Thursday today. Oh, I have a all day reminder that this gentleman's birthday is coming up, right? So depending on who the person is, you can kind of, oh, am I going to do a special little gift here? I'll send it through things. If not, I'll write them a letter, or I'll do this service or that service. It just gives you heads up, whether if you want to reach out to them, or however you want to handle that. But that was just something that somebody mentioned to me, because usually I just do, hey, we'll set up the email, hey, we'll do the text message. But she says, I want to know in advance so I can send them a letter. And I had to think about it, and I was like, hold on. And then this is kind of what we came up in order to make it happen. And so Well, I definitely thank you guys for coming. I don't know if you guys had any other questions in regards to what we look at. I do see. I now understand a little bit in regards to these forms and that kind of stuff. Then what I will say is that if there's ever a form that you guys want to use that you feel needs to be in the library, just to bring it to my attention. Also, if you see any mistakes, since I think we're going to have to kind of govern this as the community is going to have to look at it, and anytime you see something, sending me a quick message, even if it's through text message through here, through the chat. You could send me a quick chat. Hey, this template in in DM or prospecting, you can kind of tell me where to find it, and then that way I can kind of look at those and clean them up that needs to be cleaning. But yeah, I thank you guys, everybody, for showing up.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Alrighty, ciao,
Thanks.
everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.